It is 2/9/2020, 2/9/2026. Level Up College Football Podcast in the building. Man, I got bad internet today, man. I don't know what it is. I think it's the change of weather. We're going to figure it out. But I'm in the building. If you guys can hear me and listen to me, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I don't know what all this is about, but I'm sure in the world going to figure it out. Theresa, can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you now. I was having some difficulties, but I can hear you now.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear everything I'm saying now. This is bananas, but the internet just started messing up as soon as I jumped on air. But it's all good in the hood, man. I can't complain, man. Good to see you, Theresa. Live in the building with the Level Up College Football Podcast, 2/9/2026. Theresa, man, I ain't seen you in a minute. What's been cracking, man? What's going on?
I know. Been dealing with some personal issues, but fighting through it. But life is good. Life is good. I think that, sometimes you have to take it in doses, and sometimes you got to take the whole dollop. And so sometimes I just have to take the whole dollop, and it doesn't always feel so good. So, but I'm here, and I'm glad to be here today.
Facts, man. Great to hear you. See, the background music ain't even working. Can you hear it, Theresa?
Nope.
There it go. It finally kicked in. It's like I said, the internet, I don't know what it is. It decided to spaz out on the day that I actually needed to work right. But I don't care. I'm going to push through it, and we're going to do what we need to do concerning the podcast, man. I want to say what's cracking, everybody in the live chat. After, what's going on, girl? Josh, what's up? Joshua, man, what's happening, man? Yeah, after I wasn't muted, it was the dang on internet. The internet caused the brother to be on delay and all the other dumb trash stuff that goes on with the internet nowadays. But it's all good. The weather's changing. Man, in where my region is going from a little bit of cold to a little bit of warm back to a little bit of cold again, man. So, yeah, I almost got the big fine. Pickens, you big dummy, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody in the live chat. We got a live show today because we're going to talk a little bit of college football. It's the off-season, Theresa, but we still got issues, man, concerning what's happening in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Big issue. And it means something because it's going to have a domino effect, I think, across the board concerning NCAA football moving forward. The NCAA said, Trinidad Chambliss, you got to go to the NFL. They heard his stuff. They said, nah, you got to go to the NFL. With that happening, Trinidad said, I ain't done. I ain't giving up the $5 million that Ole Miss done promised me. And he done sued the NCAA in the state of Mississippi. Theresa, I just want to get your instant reaction and your thoughts concerning, because like you said, you read up on the case, you looked at what's going to be going on with this. Mm-hmm. What is your instant reaction concerning Trinidad Chambliss and his opportunity to go play at Ole Miss University next season?
Well, my initial was, okay, he has a throat injury and he can't, respirational issue. So I know, he couldn't breathe, those kinds of things. But I was wondering, what is the level of medical determination that determines whether or not someone can be eligible or not eligible? So, when do you get the waiver and when you don't get the waiver? The other issue that I have with it is this would be the 6th year, right?
Yes.
Which for me, I think we're getting into some muddy waters because it's called college football. And if you're not in college, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, I mean, yes, you can go back and get a master's. And I think, that's why I think the 5th year, I think that one is like, okay. But when you get into a 6th year, I'm like, that's a little bit much. And which also pushes the age of the players, which we saw, with Indiana. So, I mean, their average team player, I think they said was like 22 or something like that, which is pushing those numbers more and more and more. And so when you look at that, it's like, okay, what is really going on with college football? Is it still college football, or are we trying to do something where we're trying to negate what's going on in the NFL? And for me, and I know we're going into this a little bit more in depth, for me, in the NFL is like life, like it has no life. It's like no passion. It's just like dead. And so I can see, like, for me, it's like even yesterday, the Super Bowl, the first half was boring as heck. Now, second half got better, but the first half was so boring as heck. In college, it's like the passion, the heart. You can see the heart. You can see all of that going on because they really want it and they're really fighting for something. So for me, I think the 6 year makes me a little bit makes it more cloudy. I know this probably is not the standard for a medical. I mean, it's for standard for a medical waiver. You know, other people have gotten those things, but for me, I think that we're really starting to get into this muddy ground when it comes to what is college football and what is the age of a person who should be still eligible for college football.
Yeah. Listen, I agree because, and the thing is, Theresa, it's the disparity of it. Okay. So we're going to point out a couple of cases to say, hey, they did this for this kid. How come they can't do it for this kid? Case study number 1, Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia goes to play 2 years at a junior college, right? And the NCAA says, those 2 years don't count. We're still going to let you be eligible to get a 6 year at Vanderbilt. And guess what happens? He finishes second in the Heisman Trophy ranking, okay? Carson Beck, case study number 2. Carson Beck plays multiple years at the University of Georgia, comes in, gets an initial red shirt, and then gets a red shirt injury, goes on to Miami, and guess what happens? He plays for a national championship his senior year, 6 year of eligibility. Even now, you have a guy like Nelson Aguilar that's at the University of Tennessee petitioning the NCAA for a 6 year based on medical and all whatever else. So now here's Trinidad Chambliss, who's from Ferris State University. And for you guys that don't know, it's an NC Division II school in Michigan. He's like, look, I was sick. I got medical documentation to show that I only played in 2 games in 2022. How come I can't get another year of eligibility? So just your thinking of that, Theresa, is it fair? Because like I said, I named 3 cases and I can give you some more.
Yes.
So is it fair?
Based on that information, no, it's not fair. I think that he should definitely get the 6 year, but I think that they need to. I think that this gives them some case studies to think about what they want to do in the future, and what does that look like for people to go into the draft and go to the next level. I think that a lot of it's you're right. A lot of it's impacting because now even students or athletes are not really having to push to go into the NFL. If I'm still getting my $5 million, like I'm okay with it. I mean, going to the NFL was me getting my check. I don't need to get the check right now. So I can see why, right now that would be an easy, soft, it's not soft. I shouldn't say easy either, but I can understand why they would want that extra eligibility for that 6 year.
Yeah, I understand it as well. And listen, I understand it from Chambliss' aspect. The issue with Trinidad Chambliss is he's guaranteed $5 million from Ole Miss University. So because he's guaranteed $5 million, safer at best, and this is what Mark Malone said with his comment. He said, let's just pray we don't draft this guy. Listen, he's talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's probably, as of right now, a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. He's probably a 3rd or 4th. So he's going to make more money by returning to college than he will actually going to the NFL and playing quarterback. So from Chandler's standpoint, I get it. And get another opportunity to raise his draft stock again. But the issue is the disparity of how they just haven't been fair across the board, consistent across the board. And I guess that's my driving point or my driving question, right? Yeah. Should there be a standard in collegiate football of what determines a student? Because, Theresa, you know this. We talked about this off air. Carson Beck wasn't even enrolled in classes when they were playing for the national championship game. Carson Beck had not been a student at the University of Miami for at least 2 semesters, and he has a master's degree. So Theresa, is that a student?
No, it's not. That's my point. Yeah. It's not a student, and I think that it's something that they definitely need to look at. So I think that they should take these case studies and figure out what is going to be the rule. And I guess my instant response to Trinidad was more or less because, when you just look at the bites, it was like, okay, it's a throat and respiration issue. So I'm like, well, what level is that intensity? But then you're okay the following year. But if it was severe enough where he couldn't breathe and that's why he couldn't do it, then that makes it, makes more sense. It sounded like the evidence that they had was not documented enough, or maybe they didn't have a doctor on the staff or whatever that clarity is. But if there was never a standard for anyone else's to go through that medical clearance, then why is there a standard now? And I think that's what makes him have a good case to going to Mississippi State court, because I think that will alleviate it, and then it will force the NCAA to make some rules that they need to make clarified. And with the new system, I think that is something that is going to come up anyway. So I think that's a good idea also. But I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Now, I can say this. I know I've done my research and looked it up. The injunction ruling for Trinidad Chambliss is going to be held this Thursday, right? They're going to give him an opportunity to be heard by the Mississippi Court of Appeals to put him in position to be eligible. Theresa, I think that they're going to push this. I might be wrong, but I think this thing is going to go higher than the Court of Appeals in Mississippi. I think this thing's got Supreme Court written all over it.
It's going to be a standard.
Yes, I think it does, because the bottom line is you have what G-Stack say? G-Stack said that's not a collegiate athlete. It's not.
It's not.
G-Stack, listen, we don't agree. Well, let's go back, Theresa. Let's address this, because we talked about this off air also, right? If they're not enrolled, they're not a student, correct?
Correct.
So if they're not enrolled and they're not a student, doesn't that make them an employee?
Exactly. And not a college athlete.
Yes. So what are we doing? In your opinion, what are we doing? Are these guys, because Theresa, anybody that gets big time NIL to me is an employee. Your thoughts on saying that these kids, I'm talking about from freshman year all the way to senior, are they employees now or are they students?
I think they're both. I think they're both, because I think that you need to still be a student, because I think you still need to be enrolled to be considered a college athlete, period. But I do feel because they're being paid, they're employees. So I think it's a combination of both. And I think that if you take one out of the other, it's not what's the word? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but I just don't think that it's fair or equal. And then I think that that's when you get into these muddy grounds that you don't understand, because there's no level of standard that is being manipulated. So right now, the athletes really have the leverage. You know, it's not because there's no standard. So you can't tell me. The standard has been, I can do this medical waiver and I can be off this year as long as I don't play a certain amount of games. I should still be eligible. That's what the standard is. If that's not the standard anymore, then we need to change the rules. But I think that also a standard should be that you have to be enrolled and you have to be a student. Now, I don't want people to get all the way to get medical degrees either. I think
facts.
So you can't keep going to get master's degrees, so you can have your 6th year, 7th year. But I think that, and I understand the guaranteed money, but I think that it's going to have to be something that's going to keep them going to the next level, period.
Yeah. G-Stack says he thinks that only juniors and seniors should be the ones to receive the NIL. I don't know about that, G-Stacks, because you're paying
Jeremiah, right?
So Jeremiah Smith ain't gonna get no money his freshman year.
Exactly.
Are you serious? Ryan Williams ain't gonna get no money his freshman year.
Yes.
DJ Langway ain't gonna get no money his freshman year. Man, I don't know about that, bro.
Because the fans are fans, and even if you're not a big fan, people are just coming just to see them. So I mean, they should get their money.
Yeah. Afton said, I thought the schools didn't pay the players. Afton, in the famous words of Ed Orgeron, the money used to come through the back door in brown paper bags. Now they come through the front door in briefcases.
Exactly.
The money has always been.
It's always been there.
Always. The issue is the disparity between the SEC and other conferences. Because back in the day, the SEC broke bread with everybody. But you didn't get these other conferences that broke bread like that. Now, everybody's breaking bread. And that'll be a subject that we're going to talk about on this show a little bit. We're going to talk about the total revenue dollars that was coming into these universities. It's unfreaking believable. Pick as you big dummy says, what has college sports become? Theresa, what has college sports become? What is it?
A hot mess.
Facts, right?
A hot mess with no structure. That's the problem. There's no structure. You started these different policies, but you never put in the structure behind the policies. And now you have all of this gray area that people don't know how to work in, and so that you have these things coming up. So I think it's a mess right now, and structure needs to be put in place for it to make sense, because it don't make sense right now. I think you're on mute. It's the internet. Uh-oh. I think it's his internet. Oh no, oh no. So I don't even know if I'm still recording or live. I guess I am still live. Can't tell. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I don't know. I would keep talking because I'm not for sure if I'm live or not. That's the only thing. Okay, here, maybe he's coming back on. I see some changes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
All right, can you hear me?
I can now. I wasn't for sure if I was still recording or not. So
man, I jumped into the, man, it's the internet, man. I had to jump off of my computer. I don't know what it is. It's just freezing up real bad. I jumped on my tablet because my tablet's on a different Wi-Fi network, man. So, man, I'm on a completely different network, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I'm going to get this thing worked out by the night. Hey, so I can't, let me see. Let me take myself out of this screen. There you go.
Okay.
There it is. Back in business. All right, so let me get this. Let me go back. We asked what's it has become. After said, I know there's money there, but when you're talking employment, who's doing the payroll? Theresa, I think that the universities and institutions is doing the payroll.
Yes, yes.
In my personal opinion, they have to
write up the contracts. They have to write up the contracts. So yes.
Yeah. G Stack said, so have they gave Reggie Bush his Heisman Trophy back? Yep. They already did. Vince Young was supposed to take it, but they gave it back to him. And that's why you saw Reggie on the Heisman commercials and everything else. Yeah, absolutely, they gave it back to him. So, yeah, of course, right? Abdi said, I thought NIL money didn't come to the school's budget. It does. Matter of fact, the school counts it as the collective, and that's going to be some numbers we're going to get into in a little bit going later on, man. Yeah, I got a Kirby special. It's not my fault, but it is. But, I got to take blame for it. Got to take blame for it. Yep. Said, will there be a cap in college football one day? Theresa, your thoughts. Do you think there'll be a cap?
If they don't come up with a different structure, I think it will be. Because I think of all of the fallout of everything. Because the thing is, what's going to end up happening from my eyes is the big schools are going to go get all the talent. So if they get all the talent, then there's going to be all this negotiation where people are going to be competing for that money. So if I know Ohio State going to pay me $5 million, but Alabama going to pay me $3 million, I can negotiate me, getting that money. I think that's why it's going to have to, because you're going to have to keep challenging to get those players. So I think it would have to be eventually.
Yeah, I do agree. I agree. At some point, it's all going to have to be filtered through a collective body, because right now it's like the Wild West. In my opinion, Theresa, it's like the Wild West, and it's really unfair. And what we're doing, but conversely, I think it's why the people watch NCAA football more almost than the NFL. I know the numbers are not the same. I know more people watched NFL, but based on that product we saw yesterday on the field, Theresa, You can't tell me there wasn't more excitement in the collegiate ranks for the playoff than it was this year for the National Football League.
And
I
nobody
know I
said
haven't
about
checked the
the
ratings or the
teams.
money, but I sure believe it though.
Yes, I agree. It was really sad and pitiful. I wasn't. I mean, a lot of people that I know. I mean, I didn't do a poll or anything. We didn't care about either team. So it's like you got these two teams supposed to be the best teams in the country, and nobody really has the energy to even go. They not even the new fans like tagging on just to be like, okay, yeah, these are the best teams. It was like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the idea to think that now college football is almost equivalent to National Football League is unbelievable.
It is.
All right, now my last point, and I want you to dive in deep with this, right? Based on what you see, and now we don't get into our personal lives, what we do away from this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But right? I can ask this question and not necessarily tell what you do, but from analyzing it, what type of impact is this going to make on the social point of view and the psychological point of view of these kids if they see Chambliss not get an opportunity and then other kids get an opportunity? What is it going to do, Theresa? What do you think it's going to do?
I think psychologically, and let's talk about the what are they considered? Gen Z, Gen X? What are they? Gen X?
Hell, I don't know now. I don't know if they're X, Y, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Q. I don't know what the hell they are. They something.
Their mindset is totally different than me as a Gen X. What am I? Gen X. And what am I? I'm a Gen X, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
So if their mindset is about social media, it's about getting quick dollars, it's about getting the money, it's about getting the quick fix. That mindset is when they don't feel like they're being mistreated, or they feel like they're not getting fair, they are going to it's going to backfire. They're going to do something else to make it be like, then I ain't doing it then, or I'll go somewhere else then, or but blase. They'll do something that is going to backfire. So I think that I think that they're more outspoken, and you'll see it in the social media. You'll see it in their psyche, even the psyche of the game. That some people are being don't have the same equality as other people. I think that's huge. Will be a huge impact. So yes, I agree.
Yeah, facts. Craig said, will there be a cap in college one day? Craig, I don't know. Prayerfully they will. Craig also asked, how much longer till more teams are added to the college football playoff? Well, Craig, we know it's not going to happen in 2025. But what's happened is the college football system has changed in 2025. Next season, you're not going to get the Tulanes and the big trash, whatever the school was that played Oregon in the first round. You're not going to get that. Next year, the way that they've changed the rules is that Notre Dame with 2 losses or less automatically makes it, and you're going to have Power 5 conference champions make it, regardless if that's, and hear me loud and clear when I say, the Pac-12, the Pac-12, which was supposed to be a dead conference, the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. So you're going to have all 5 champions, or possibly all 5 champions, Notre Dame to make the playoff with 2 losses or less, and then 5 to 6 at-large teams. So you won't going to get big trash teams in the playoff next year, but they're not going to more than 12, Craig said the Super Bowl was mid. I ain't mad at you, Craig. I believe it. Big E says New England should have been there. New England shouldn't have been there if it wasn't for our quarterback going down. They wouldn't have been. Well, Big E, I know you feel about big bias when it comes to the Denver Broncos, but it is what it is. They made it, man. Mean Dream, Green, man, good to see you, man. He said, what up, Big G? Did you enjoy watching the Patriots lose another Super Bowl game like I did last night? Of course, because we don't want them to have more trophies than us. Heck yeah, I enjoyed that, man. Get them out of here, man. Right, so, Theresa, our second subject, okay? And I've been trying to pull it up, but I'm on my tablet and all at the same time because I have my numbers already set up on my tablet, but I had to switch, right? So, the 25 richest college football programs, top 75 richest top programs. I'm going to read off top 5, Okay, top 5. And the money that they generated, not just for football, but total dollars revenued through sports. The first university is the University of Texas at Austin. $1.48 billion. Ohio State University, $1.35 billion. Texas A&M University, $1.32 billion. University of Georgia, $1.16 billion. University of Michigan at number 5 at $1.16 billion. You don't drop down into the millions until you go all the way past number 13, by the way, which is the University of Oklahoma. And the University of Florida is listed at $975 million. Theresa, are these professional teams, are these professional programs, $1.14 billion? Are you freaking kidding me? What's your thoughts, Theresa?
I think the one thing is college football always make big money. I think that right now, because NIL is we're seeing it a little bit more, like we're focusing on it a little bit more. I think all of these big schools that you named, the top 5, are one of those schools that you're going to hear the names. Do you want to see their fans are traveling? All the good things you see that. It doesn't surprise me that they're that high. But because I think of the programs are getting better and better and better and better and better. So I think that they have, in order for them to move with the culture, the money is getting bigger, bigger, and bigger and bigger. And so, yes, is this college football is taking a shift in who they are overall, but I think that it's also going to change feeders.
Yeah.
It's also going to change how talent is scouted.
Yes.
I think that it's going to change how long they're staying in
yes.
college football.
Yes. Yes.
I think that the biggest thing that really bothers me about this whole thing is if we don't get a hold of it, the development of the athlete itself is going to filter, because if they don't like something, they can go into the portal and switch, instead of staying in a program, being loyal to it and building up to what they can be or should, what their potential is. So those are the things that I see. But yes, is it moving into something that we've never seen before? Yes. And so I think that, as we talked about before, the structure is going to be one of those things that's going to be most important for us to get a handle on this.
Facts. Check this out. Abner says, wait, how much for each school spending in football? Let me be perfectly clear, Afton.
Billions.
$1.48 billion for the University of Texas. $1.35 billion for the Ohio State University. $1.32 billion at Texas A&M University. $1.16 billion at Georgia, and $1.16 billion at Michigan. This is inclusive of everything that they pay, including the staffs. So this is staff salaries, everything that they pay out, inclusive. It's all into one facility in order to make that machine run at those universities. Mm-hmm. That's how much they're for, because you got to think about it. They're playing 12 regular season games, a conference championship game, and X amount of playoff games. This thing is moving like a machine, right? And so this is my question to you, Theresa. We already know to believe that it's pro sports, right? But will this have a G League effect? Because I think this is my thing. I think that the NFL is definitely past the NBA. There's no doubt about it, right? But I think that college football is past the NBA. The only reason why the NBA makes more money is because they got 82 games. If college football had 20 games, they would blow them out the water. And that would be a fourth of the money that they make, right? I mean, based on, games played versus money made, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that they're going to go the opposite and try to tone it down to say, okay, they're not really a professional sport? Or do you think that the NCAA is going to turn it up? Because when you start looking at increased numbers, based on those dollars, what I told you, Texas picked up 23% and earned revenue and brought in dollars. They gained 23%, right? 15% went to The University of Georgia, the University of Michigan increased 4%. 4%. It doesn't look like they turning down, man. It doesn't look like they turning down. Do you think they're going to keep turning up?
Turning up in terms of trying to be a professional league?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll go to the professional league. I mean, and this could be, I could be misquoting this. So if this is incorrect, you can just tell me. But the reason why I was told that Ohio State or Columbus does not have a pro football team is because of Ohio State. Ohio State is the pro team, but this has been for years. So I think that that's just how it works as a machine itself. So I don't think that we will become, I mean, they will become pros, but I do feel like, let's say that they're in their marinating stage, that they're getting ready for the pro still. I think the NFL also needs to do something different that is going to be more attracting, because I don't know, it seems like when they get there, the luster just goes away. And I think that's part of the problem too. But college football, I think you're right, that pulse, that passion, that the money, all of that is starting to build up. Are they going to turn that part of it down? No. But I don't think that it'll ever get to a point where they're overtaking like professional athletes.
Yeah. And Theresa, I'm going to say this. You're absolutely correct when it comes to Columbus, Ohio. And matter of fact, it's not by accident that the University of Texas at Austin and Ohio State University is the top two schools. You know why? Because there's not a pro team there. And Austin and Columbus, Ohio are two of the largest cities in the whole United States of America. It's not by accident that College Station and Texas A&M is number 3. Because guess what? There ain't no freaking pro team there. It ain't by accident that Georgia's number 4, because there ain't no pro team in Athens, Georgia. There's Atlanta's up the road a little bit, but ain't no pro team. And oh, by the way, the University of Michigan is 5. There's damn for sure ain't no pro team in Ann Arbor. So it's not by accident. And number 6 is Notre Dame, by the way. Ain't no pro team in South Bend. So the first team that's in a professional city is the University of Southern Cal, who's 8th. And they make $110 billion. They make $110 billion with 14% revenue change, right? Daniel Hall said Alabama. Man, Alabama is 9, bro. At $109 billion, they 9. You know, I know you don't give nothing a damn about nothing but the Tide and always the Tide, but it ain't about the Tide right now. Matter of fact, the Tide hurting, man. Yeah. The great one says College Station is nowhere as large as Austin and Columbus. That is facts, and that's telling you how much bread they got, because they number 3. They only $3 million behind Ohio State. They turning up in College Station. They turning up, man. But Theresa, another point. Alumni bases is jumping on back on board with this, right? So in your opinion, does the success of the program mean that the alumni base supports it more than what they actually do right now? Do you got to get national championships for the alumni base to be all in to give the money?
Definitely. Definitely. You know how they be coming for Ryan Day. They be like, you lost that. You lost Michigan. Yeah. They don't be playing. They don't be playing. Yeah. So yes, your success will get that alumni rooting for you and back you up 24/7.
That's facts. That's facts. Great one says Columbus is also one of the most economic, prestigious, or prosperous cities in the Midwest. It is. And there ain't no pro team there.
No pro team.
College Station got that military money. You're right, Daniel Hall. You're right. I mean, that's facts, man. He said Alabama's one step away from kicking the boy to the curb. They like lightweight need to now. I mean, the steps should be counted, and get him out of here, man. He said, Craig said, well, agents get involved with this somehow. Craig, great point.
Good point.
There's a huge agent involved with Trinidad Chambliss. The agent that filed for Trinidad Chambliss is an NFL agent.
Wow.
He's an NFL agent. So absolutely agents is involved, and they're getting percentages. So there's agents. Anytime you got money, there's agents.
Yeah.
There's agents. So yes, they're involved. So Great One says, for a bunch of rich alums, I feel like it's a pride thing. It could be. It could be.
It could be a pride thing, but if you keep losing.
Oh yeah, yeah. They'll kick you to the curb quick. Daniel said, hey, listen, the boy got one more ice cream season. It's all over with, man. Right? After, agents have been involved. They've been involved. Right? What do you say? Can I get him on the phone with Omar Line? You mean Omar Khan? Yeah, I mean, they can talk. They just can't talk to NFL representatives. So let me paint this picture. An agent can be an agent for anybody at different levels, right? But he just can't let the two mix. So if he's a NCAA 2A, he's representing NCAA 2A, I'm not going to connect him to the NFL. Can't do that. But I can be an agent for both because I can represent whatever I want to represent, right? Daniel said, no, Alabama has literally fired a coach from losing all. Yeah. I mean, that's why I think he's next, man. He's next. Great One says, Big G, I feel that what hurts Columbus's chances to get pro teams is Cleveland and Cincinnati being really close and already having good established pro teams, even though many of them aren't good. I don't know if that hurts it, but I don't think Columbus will ever want a professional franchise. Theresa, do you
They won't allow it. They won't allow it. They won't allow it. Columbus will not allow it. They get too much revenue. They would never allow it.
Yeah. I looked this up the other day. Columbus, Ohio is top 10 growing city in the United States of America, right? The suburban areas are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Buckeye money stretches all the way to the suburbs, right? Everything is tied to the Buckeyes. So why would I let an NFL team ever get a hold of any of that money?
Exactly. Why?
Why? I would never in a million years.
You got the Bengals.
Yeah. Cincinnati, you keep the Bengals.
Yeah, exactly.
Cleveland, you keep the big trash Browns. We're going to stick with the Buckeyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't see it ever happening.
Nah.
Daniel, that is facts.
Exactly.
That's why Alabama doesn't have a professional team in the whole freaking state because they got Auburn and they got Alabama. They would never do that because they have Auburn and they have Alabama. Why in the hell do I win a pro team in Alabama? No, I got the two dogs. I got one in Tuscaloosa and one in wherever Auburn, right? I don't want no pro team there. Never. Columbus, Ohio has one pro team, but it's a National Hockey League. They actually have two. They have a professional soccer team, too, by the name called the Columbus Crew. So they have a professional soccer team and the Columbus Blue Jackets was a hockey team. But you ain't never going to see no football team there. Never, ever.
Nope.
All right, Theresa, one last closing thing to put out there, right? In 2026, and I haven't got your take on this. I got Ma's take, I got Sarah's take. I need to get your take, right?
Okay, let's see.
In 2026, right? Do you think there's a changing of the guard concerning power placed for opportunities to win a national championship? And then if you had to list your preseason top 5 off the top of the dome, do you think there's power shift? Like, what's the number 1 conference? And if you had to list your top 5 off the dome, who you got top 5 for next season?
Number 1 conference, of course, the Big Ten. I don't know why we playing around. Ooh. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Top teams? Woo!
Wait. Why do you think the Big Ten is the top? Why you say that?
I think that because when you just look at the last couple of playoffs, we have been dominating. So we have been showing up. Other than Indiana, I don't know what Indiana's roster is going to look like next year. I'm pretty sure. I know a lot of people are not coming back, so I don't know what it looks like and what that recreation looks like. But I think that they're probably building up their roster really well. So I don't know what that looks like. But you still have an Ohio State. I don't think that we're losing a lot of people. I think you still have who's the other team? Oregon. You still have Oregon.
Yeah.
And so I think that, if Indiana has in play, I think they will be a contender. I don't know where they fall because I don't know what it looks like yet, but I think that they will be continuing. So those are 3 powerhouses, and they're powerhouses. They're not just people with just a name. Yeah. So like you would talk about Alabama. I'm looking at you like right now, like It's just your name. So what are we bringing to the table? What are we doing different?
That's facts.
When I look at, Georgia still has, some vibrations going on. So I think that, those, I never doubt the SEC. So I never say that they're not going to be good because I like Georgia. I like Alabama. But I think that there are structures where I didn't see the change. And I think that you're going to also see a lot of coach switching. So we'll see how that plays out. Maybe Michigan. I didn't even talk about Michigan. I don't usually talk about them, but Michigan might be doing some things over there. We'll see what they do this year. Yeah. So I think that for us right now, I don't say it's the changing of the guards, but I do feel like our conference is very, very strong right now. That's why I said 10.
All right, and then your top 5, right off the dome. Who you got?
Ooh, I have Ohio State. I have Texas.
Yeah.
I want to say Miami because I did like Miami last year.
Yeah.
And
Oregon?
I was about to say Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Notre Dame or LSU?
Oh, I do like a Notre Dame. I do like a Notre Dame. Because I like Marcus. And we'll see. And I think that they have a chip on their shoulder. So I think that they're going to come in, just floating, fire. That's what I expect. That's what they should be doing. So I want no excuses, Marcus. I don't want any excuses. Come out there powerhousing because you have something to prove. If that's what you feel like you needed, to do to sit out. So yeah.
Facts. Where does UVA and Vatech rank, G-Stacks? In the middle of the pack of the ACC. I mean, it's just true. But Virginia Tech is going to improve with James Franklin. They're going to invest resources in to try to improve that program. And he stole a bunch from Penn State. What you said, Theresa?
I said he's a great coach.
Yeah, he just can't beat Ohio State and Michigan. I mean, let's be clear. He just can't win. Is the SEC? So the argument is the SEC is better top to bottom. I don't disagree that the SEC's bottom teams are better than the Big Ten's bottom teams. But I don't think that the SEC top teams are better than the Big Ten top teams. I mean, we got Northwestern and Purdue and Rutgers in our conference. It's big trash over there.
Right.
But let's be clear. Maryland. Don't get it twisted. You got Arkansas, you got Mississippi State, you got Kentucky. There's big trash over there in the SEC. But I think they're a little bit stronger than what's in our basement, right? Is Cuban involved in Indiana? Craig, absolutely. He donated big bread. I think I heard $23 million or $24 million he gave this year, and he's going to donate $50 million next year. Just one dude.
You seen him on the field.
Facts. G-Stack says Miami, Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, Texas, all my top 5. I ain't mad at it.
I like it.
Trinidad will be at Ole Miss in 2026. Right now he ain't, but guess what? He's fighting it down in the Mississippi State courts, and we're going to see on Thursday. But right now, he ain't. LSU, LSU some dogs. Daniel Hall, LSU some dogs. Mod said LSU was some dogs. That's facts, man. Right? Daniel said, when is Notre Dame going to join the conference? Never.
Why?
Why would they? They get all the money. They don't have to split revenue with anybody.
Yes.
And they don't have to report it. That's their money. So they ain't got to report it and they got to split. So never. Notre Dame's never. And they just made it easy for them because now if they get 2 losses or less, and they got when I'm telling you they have a cream puff schedule next year, their schedule absolutely sucks. So they should easily make the playoff next year. Mod said Penn State is sneaky. I believe it. Iowa State's coach went over there. Roscoe Bosch, the quarterback, went from Iowa State, went over there. They stole a bunch of players from Iowa State. Penn State could be sneaky next year.
I would have said if they still have Franklin, I would have picked Penn State.
Yeah. Because if they keep doing this, they're going to keep getting that's facts. The issue is this. Money talks, everything else runs the marathon. Right? And when you have conferences that are loading up to pay astronomical amounts of money for players, I am so interested to see what because the dollar amounts haven't came out for the transfer portal yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I listen. I believe wholeheartedly LSU paid $100 million.
I believe.
You know, they might not never print it all out and put it on paper, but just actual payouts along with everything that they had to do, 40 players, $100 million. LSU paid $100 million. They might not say that, but they paid $100 million just for the portal.
And you know they had down there, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, I mean, they just got to get people behind them that's going to help them get the bread.
Exactly.
So you know, that's it, right? Now, Theresa, we're to the end of the show. My internet was big trash today. I had to switch tablets. Thank all you guys for bearing with us. And if you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, please make sure that you like and subscribe to all your friends, because on Mondays, every week, we talk about the Level Up College Football Podcast. We discuss college football with my girl, Thresa-B, Sarah C, Mod, sometimes B Dirt. We get down over here on college football on Mondays. So we appreciate all y'all bearing with us. But before I go, Theresa.
Yes.
Big shout out to you and what you're doing in your personal life. I'm not going to tell it because it ain't my business to tell. But y'all, to have my co-host Theresa come on the show based on what she's going on, prayers to you. Prayers to you. And we hoping and praying that everything is going to continue to be great. So tell the people whatever you want to tell them. Disclose your story, how you want to say it, and let them know. And we appreciate all y'all prayers for her as well, man. So go ahead, Theresa.
So the reason why that I miss some of our tapings is because I am fighting stage 4 colon cancer, and have been fighting it for 4 years. I am in a clinical trial right now. So there are just times where it is so bad on my body that I cannot get up out of the bed. So I don't record. So, but thank God I don't look like what I'm going through. I am fighting clearly. I am also a therapist. We haven't, disclosed what I do, but I'm a therapist. So I have started a podcast called A Therapist Doing Her Own Work, and currently writing a book called A Therapist Doing Her Own Work. So I am really, really focusing on the positive. But the one thing that I do love, other than, everything else that I do, I love college football. So yes, college football is not my first thing. It is my second in the row thing. But I thank all of you for all your prayers. And yes, if I'm not here, it's not because I don't want to be, that I put other things as a priority. It's because sometimes my health just doesn't allow me to.
Yeah, facts. Daniel said you got a GoFundMe page. Do you got anything that can just set up like that?
No, but I do need to start one because I won't go into depth, but because if you are not independently wealthy, going through something like this is overwhelmingly financially a hardship. So I'm thinking about starting one. It's just my pride is just like Theresa, but things are getting more and more difficult as I go through it. So when I do, I'll let you guys know what it is.
Absolutely. On future shows, even if Theresa's not here, once I get all the information for her, I'll definitely put it up for a good GoFundMe, man. And they said, we'll start it over here. So Theresa, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out to get you a GoFundMe and all whatever else. But just letting you know, you are definitely supported by the channel. And I'm going to be honest. I couldn't do it without Theresa and Sarah. I just couldn't do it. Because I have so much fun doing it, so much fun bringing you college football content. But I know sometimes y'all like, man, where my people at? Well, the issue is that they got stuff, but it's not for me to disclose. Theresa felt confident enough to tell. She told it. It is what it is. So, but we appreciate all y'all rocking with us every single week. Daniel said, man, let people do that, man. Let people do that, man. I feel he's right. He's right. He said, Afton said, plenty of us would love the opportunity to help, ma'am. So, yeah, we'll get it. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Me and Theresa and some others will talk about it, figure out how to set it up and get her a GoFundMe for sure, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, now listen, thanks for rocking with us again this week on the Level Up College Football Podcast. Y'all, I'm going to be back tomorrow, and I got a banger. When I'm telling y'all I got a banger, it's going to get ugly on the Keeping It 100 show tomorrow. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers win the bingo card in free agency with Mike Wazowski? because Mike Wazowski McCarthy, can he actually help us win the bingo card to win free agency to get us an opportunity to go to the playoffs in 2026? That's the banger going on tomorrow, live at noon. Super chats are wide open. Memberships are wide open. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking for 1,000 people to be in the live chat tomorrow. It's going to be off the freaking chain because you're going to get to vent, rant, go to hell off, thinking what the damn Pittsburgh Steelers should do to actually put us in position to win in 2026. So the bingo card will be open, and this includes trades, players you want to trade for, players you want to trade the hell out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, what you want to do for 2026, Yenzies. So tomorrow's going to be a banger at noon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and the crew going to cut it up on Keeping It 100, man. Listen, as for Big G, as for my girl Thresa-B, as for my girl Sarah C, and you know, always I got to kick in from Mod and B-Dirt and the people that rock with us every week on the Level Up College Football Podcast. Thank you guys again for rocking with us for another week. We'll see all y'all next week. Have a wonderful week. Peace.